Join us as we guide you through the sights to see in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, with Danny and Jessica Hauger, the capital city of the province of Ontario, the fourth largest city in North America, and centrally located between New York City, Chicago, and Montreal. Toronto's within a 90-minute flight for over half the United States and Canadian population. Join us as Danny Hauger Podcast explores Toronto. Is it really Tuesday already? I cannot believe it either. And we're at the airport at Pearson International Airport in Toronto, saying our final farewells and enjoying our final taste of Canada. Just one taste of an Italian kielbasa and I'm hooked. Lawrence Market. Oh, so delicious. With just one bite on a free sample cart, I'm transported immediately into the fair here. And so much good food, dairy, all kinds of bakeries. This is a great place if you like to eat fresh food and get a little local taste of Toronto. Absolutely, make your stop at St. Lawrence Market. So many places to check out. Bring your appetite. Well, we're here at the airport and we're just loading up with a few duty-free treats to take home and some to-go gift shops purchases for the family. Bought my mom some ice wine fudge to remember that we can tell her the story about how we learned about ice wine, and 80 or 90% of the ice wine of the world comes from. Part of our tour that we went on Niagara with city sightseeing tours was a stop at the Canadian Food and Wine Institute at Niagara College. The Wine Visitor and Education Center is the first of its kind on-campus facility in North America. It's a really neat place. The center celebrates and is set among 40 acres of teaching vineyards at the base of the Niagara Escarpment, a United Nations World Biosphere Reserve. And it's a place where they make all the wine here, and it's Canada's only university or college or school of winemaking. There are many aspects of the state-of-the-art facility, including tasting counters, retail wine sales, interactive displays, and space for seminars. It's a great place. So look it up. The Canadian Food and Wine Institute might make an interesting stop for wine lovers who are visiting the Niagara region.
Toronto.
And I can share with her the trip that we made to the college winery that is the only one of its kind here in Canada.
I still can't believe they only get 1 to 2 drops from the grapes from when they're frozen. Crazy.
I know, it's quite a process and very detailed and intricate.
And I really like that they put the grapes back where the plants are to, recycle.
That was nice. We did a lot of nice things though on this trip. There was a lot to reflect on, and I was talking at dinner a little while ago earlier here at the airport about how fortunate we were to kind of make all the connections, because we'd had a really tight flight coming out of San Francisco in the first place. We kind of are choosing to go the direct route home, a unified non-stop flight, but on the way over we only had a 45-minute layover connect to clear customs and everything, so we were pretty concerned about it, I thought.
Yeah, you really wanted to run over there, and unfortunately I took a little tumble, but I was okay. We made it.
We made it with like 10 or 15 minutes to spare too.
I know. I had enough time to get a snack and eat the snack.
So that was kind of something we were concerned about ahead of time, but once we got here, it's really been a really nice week, worry-free experience. Hard to imagine that you would find a bigger, more metropolitan city with so many things to do and such diverse people, and still is such a safe and clean place to be. I mean, at no time did I have to worry about my pockets being picked or anything like that on this trip, which is really nice when you're traveling, that you don't necessarily think about those things, and it's good to not have to and just enjoy your time and have a fun time wherever we went.
That's right.
I liked that we also decided to take a taxi from Pearson when we arrived right to the hotel, but that we didn't stay in the hotel the first day, which was actually our plan, was to stay and kind of recover from any pre-jet lag that might set in, but we actually ended up going out the very first night and we went to the second city. Well, Danny Hauger here, on a little bit of a historic side note that we did not know that we would be arriving on today, June 17th, our first full day here in Toronto. We're attending a show at the second city, right here at 51 Mercer Street, where so many people got their start in the famous world of Canadian comedy, including John Candy and so many others. So it's an exciting time to be here and actually recording this right here in the Brick Room, where so many people waited to see so many famous comedians. So pretty cool sight to see. Again, it's 51 Mercer Street here in Toronto. You can get your tickets online, and we're here for the production of How to Kill a Comedian, which is running through mid-July, and it's supposed to be just uproariously funny, and it's been very well reviewed. So taking a night out on the town to enjoy an evening at the second city. We'll surely post the review in part of our post-production, but pretty excited, right, Jess?
Pretty awesome excited.
Well said. Just following up after the show at the Second City, what a wonderful performance it was. Had me laughing near tears on a couple of occasions. The troupe was really outstanding. The way they worked together, the way they worked from each other with the audience, and really created a lot of really funny and memorable scenes. I feel like I just watched a best of Saturday Night Live or something like that, and it was really, really funny. You could see a lot of future talent, present talent, and past work that's gone into the skills they have in their improv careers and in their sketches. So really enjoyed the show at Second City. Strongly recommend it.
It made me want to be an improv player. Too bad I'm really, really shy.
But it's not something that maybe everyone can do, but it's something that everyone can enjoy. So if you're coming to Toronto, definitely check out the Second City at the Second City Dump for more information on that. Wonderful show. Really enjoyed it. And tomorrow,
That was really great, and I really enjoyed the hot dog we had just before we went to go watch.
You also, I thought, really enjoyed the photos on the walls.
I did. I got to see John Candy, one of my favorites, Dan Aykroyd.
With curly hair.
He is Canadian, but Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara. It was nice seeing them on the wall. I know who they are.
It felt like we were in a historic place because we were. And it was funny because that wasn't one of the things that crossed my mind or my radar when we were doing our pre-trip planning and kind of mapping out where we might like to go and the visits that we might make. The Second City wasn't on my list, but when I came and looked at some publications that were delivered and that were available in the hotel with things to do in the area, it came up and it immediately jarred my memory that, of course, this is one of the places in the world where you can see a Second City stage production. And it was really funny. You put on the expectations that, yeah, there'll be some laughs, but you don't know really what the style of comedy is going to be because I had never been there before. And even though your brother does stand-up comedy, we've been to the Ice House and some of the famous comedy houses. You don't really know what a production's going to look like. But I laughed a lot. In the middle, I think I almost teared up a couple times because I was laughing so hard. And that was a really great show, a tribute to the productions they have there. So if you're in the area and you like comedy, that's definitely a stop that we should make. So that was our first night here. That was a Wednesday night, correct?
Correct.
Thursday we got up, and that was the second time then we headed into the city.
We went to Niagara Falls that day.
That's right, we did. We took the bus, and it picked us up 700 meters from our hotel room, so just right around the corner at one of 4,300 Tim Hortons locations. One of the facts that I learned on our trip. And it took us out to Niagara for the day. What are your thoughts about the ride out there and kind of the experience of the day?
Great trip. I did get a little sleepy on the ride over, but once I was wide awake and just enjoyed seeing the falls, enjoyed the ice cream we had over there, the best maple, I think, ice cream we had.
Now, what I know is that you guys, as tourists, are seeing maple syrup everywhere. You walk into a tourist shop, there it is. Souvenir stand, there it is. The duty free at the airport, there it is. Do not buy your maple syrup at the airport. Do not buy your maple syrup at a tourist shop or a souvenir stand. You're going to be overcharged. Now, this country that you've chosen to visit, Canada, is very safe. No one's going to steal your wallet or pick your pocket. But you might be overcharged by up to 700% for maple syrup. Buy it where Canadians buy it. Now, I have a 9-year-old daughter. I go through lots of it. She puts it on her pancakes in the morning, her waffles. You can put it in your coffee. You can put it in baked goods. You can put it in ice cream, maple walnut ice cream. How much to spend? Well, if you go to a grocery store, to a market where Canadians do everyday shopping, you'll find it, and expect to pay $6 for half a liter. Actually, pardon me, $6 for 8 ounces, 250 milliliters, a quarter of a liter. $11 for half a liter, and $18 if you go up to the 1 liter size. Those are the prices that you should be paying.
Best ice cream I've ever had, period. What was it called, Jess?
London Ice Cream Shop.
Maple walnut?
Yes.
Double scoop on a waffle cone. Hands down, fantastic. No joke, no nonsense. Fantastic. Best ice cream I've ever had. So excited about it. If you come here, Niagara-on-the-Lake, you've got to try it.
It was just an overall great trip.
Let's talk about timing of the year. I think we were really fortunate as our tour guide and some of the other spectators had mentioned that Canada's in school for 2 more weeks because we were there on June 18th and I was expecting huge crowds. I was expecting Trevi Fountain in Italy and the huge mammoth crowds, and it wasn't at all like that. Like, not one time did you bump anybody's shoulders, save maybe at the guest shop.
Yeah, there's a lot of space along the railing for you to take a picture of the falls. I'm like, oh, didn't think that would happen. I thought I would have to claw my way through.
Yeah, and it was really easy to get all the photographs that you wanted on many different spots along the walkway. It also confirmed my idea coming in that you get a better experience in terms of sights, paths, and views from the Canadian side of the falls.
Yeah, I try to imagine myself on the American side, and while it would have been still gorgeous, I believe the Canadian side has a better view.
So that was an advantage that we had, and I just mentioned the crowds because it turned out to be just an extra pleasant experience being there because we weren't bumping shoulders. We took about 2 hours and walked, I'd say, almost everything that's walkable along the three falls here in Niagara. It's really beautiful. The sun came out in the afternoon about 1 o'clock, and with it the temperature and humidity definitely began to rise, but it also gave a clearer view for photos of the falls. The people are very friendly around and exchanging the ability to take a photo and have your loved ones in it with you. We took plenty. We got lots of great pictures, and it'll be a nice memory when we sit down and review the photos once we're back home. But we found a restaurant that was a little bit off the beaten track, away from the falls by a few blocks. It's called the Secret Garden. It's been here for more than 2 decades, and they offer a small gift shop as well as some homemade items if you're looking for something a little closer to the cuisine and authentic side. And they have a wide menu for a large family, and as well as fresh desserts. And on a day like this, having a nicely made lemonade, very sweet, is the perfect treat while you sit under an umbrella at a table within viewing of the American Falls, and it just looks wonderful. You can hear them. It's a very nice, serene backdrop to enjoy lunch, and that's what we're doing. And it's a beautiful day here in Niagara. Instead of talking through it or burying the lead, just take a listen to this, one of the most natural sounds and most amazing naturals in the world, here at Niagara Falls, Horseshoe Falls. So if you are planning your visit and you're looking at your calendar and you're available in mid-June or early June, that may be advantageous to you as well. We may even save a little bit on flights, as I believe that we're the benefit of. Beautiful weather all week long.
Yeah, it got a little humid at some point, but very nice with just short sleeve shorts. Felt nice.
Yeah, shorts were perfect, and I really enjoyed it. We did a ton of walking.
Yes, one of the days we took as many as like 18,000 steps.
And you don't have to have that experience, but that was our trip because we decided to hoof it a lot of the times. But we also did really well to take lots of subway trips as well.
Subways, buses. I like public transportation. I think it's very fun seeing different people, just kind of relaxing, watching everything go by.
So that was great. We figured it out. It's very easy and was very affordable. It was only $3 each for us to take the bus and transfer to the subway. So that was a little bit of our experience getting around, getting into the city the first few days. Niagara was gorgeous. It's an absolute must. Our tour guide driver, Sabi, was really wonderful too.
He was the one who suggested the ice cream.
He suggested the ice cream that was the best taste that I had through the trip, the maple walnut ice cream at Niagara on the Lake. And he also suggested the Secret Garden.
Yes, where we went to have lunch. We got to have the view of the falls as we were eating, and it was not crowded at all.
And it was really good too. So I enjoyed that, and the lemonade we got was fantastic.
Oh, that was perfect. After a long walk, and it's kind of warm. Perfect.
And that's located just up the street at Niagara Falls. If you turn your back to the falls and walk a block or two, you'll find the Secret Garden. So that was a good spot. I would recommend that as well. It was a really wonderful day, that trip to Niagara. Enjoyed it. The photos say it all. I mean, you could say it words, but the pictures really tell the story there. So that was Wednesday.
Thursday is when we went to the falls. Wednesday is the second city.
Friday is the next day. It comes after Thursday, logically, most weeks. And that's the day we came in and did our first day of the hop on, hop off.
Yes, that's right.
I enjoyed it very much. I found the tour guide on this.
And we are in the dinosaur ring here at the Royal Museum, and I am so excited. I love coming to see all the and being amazed at how big they once were, and how it's just crazy how these things roamed the earth millions of years ago. It's just amazing. I love getting the chance to see them, even if they are just bones. I guess Jurassic Park and Jurassic World will have to do for now. Wow, it was very great, and I would highly recommend it on your trip to Toronto.
Sightseeing bus to be better than any of the hop-on, hop-offs that we have done. And that includes Vancouver, that includes Rome, that includes Paris. I thought, even London, the guides were better in terms of less hokey jokes, but being more informative about the area and being friendlier. That's something I noticed, because all the guides are good and will give you historical context, but the Toronto guides, really went out of their way to make sure everyone was having a good time, comfortable, would give you information. We had a couple people who actually Googled information to help us find, because our data wasn't working, and they were able to give us information about trains and other transportation tickets, times, and would wait that extra minute if you needed to help someone get on or off the bus. And that was a point of courtesy that I didn't see at the other locations. So that was wonderful. Super enjoyed it. I think we rode around probably 3 times in total from the couple days that we took it. And they hop off at all the best stops. Most of the sites that we did were right along the route. So it's Friday morning, and Jess and I got up and got on the hop-on, hop-off city. And it was outstanding. Big credit to our tour guide, Daniel, who we rode with for about an hour halfway through the middle of the tour, and he was really funny. I think sometimes it's hard to make the jokes that make everyone laugh and still make them entertaining, but I thought he did a really good job, Jess.
Me too. I enjoyed it very much.
He was really funny. We got off at stop 14, which is about the midway stop of the tour, which is CN Tower and the aquarium. So we decided to do CN Tower. It's only going to be about a 10-minute wait, and we're at about 11 a.m., so it's wonderful. And we're getting the general admission, but there's so many more options that you can take your CN Tower experience to a lot of different levels, including the Edge Walk, which we were able to see people circumnavigating the outside of the top of the tower on what appears to be like bungee cords and handrails. And I guess that's a little for the adventure seekers or people that want a different experience. We could see them from miles away, the people in the little orange safety suits walking along the perimeter of the tower, which was really neat. But in a few minutes, we'll be going up the elevator. So I'm going to cut this off for now, and we'll be talking probably in my Danny Hauger soft voice about how beautiful the views are just very shortly here at CN Tower in Toronto. CN Tower, CN Tower. Well, we just finished up at CN Tower, and it's a beautiful view. I didn't realize until we got up here that there's a new addition that was the world's first glass floor. And the floor is 24 square meters, about 256 square feet of solid glass, and is 5 times stronger than the required weight-bearing standard for commercial floors. It says on the wall here, as we're waiting for the elevator, it can withstand the weight of 14 large hippos, which is also the equivalent of 3.5 orcas. And I always wanted to know orca weight currency. I'm sure Jess did too. And we looked out, we walked around the outside as well as the inside observations. There's just priceless $1 million photos that you can take here. Jess, what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. I loved being able to see so much of the water, so much of the city. It was very beautiful.
Definitely, absolutely a must-see attraction. I'm sure that your trip to Toronto wouldn't be complete without a trip to CN Tower. And one of the things I liked is whenever we visit cities, we don't often go for the lookout first. We kind of have a day or two on the ground to get accustomed and acclimated to the area. That way when you go up to the tower, you can kind of sight some of the spots that you've been at on floor. So it's kind of a neat challenge to kind of picture yourself in the air and figure out where your surroundings are. On a beautiful day here, you can look out so many dozens of miles, or kilometers as it were, and it was absolutely a worthwhile experience. So come check out CN Tower. It's stop 14 and 16 on the City Sightseeing Toronto bus tour. And also, it's because you can find the tower from any spot in the city. So very cool. Definitely come check out the tower when you're here in Toronto. Something that strikes to mention while we're walking across many galleries at the Royal Ontario Museum is that when you come to Toronto, you really get an opportunity to balance your trip. To balance it between fun, education, sightseeing, modern day, history, culture, food, everything's here. And what I've come across as we've been touring the museum now for a couple of hours is that you could learn so much here. And I just came across a great fact. I thought that 99% of all known species are smaller than a bee. Just think about that. It's amazing. And the amount of things that you can learn and experience, also amazing to hear. It wasn't just a great place to take photos, but also to learn a lot more about the information of the city of Toronto and the tower itself. For example, that for 34 years, the CN Tower was the world's tallest tower at 553 meters, and it held the record for an astounding 34 years. Think of the global achievements and advancement that took place during the same period, and this tower was standing here leading the world. It defines the Ontario skyline, and it's Canada's most recognizable and celebrated icon. So it's a very special place when you come to visit, and really gives you a sense of its significance in Toronto history. In 2008, the glass floor was brought in. In 2011, the Edge Walk opened. That's Toronto's tallest attraction. And it has adventure lovers enjoying the view all around, taking a walk outside, that's right, around the circumference of the roof of the tower. It's a ledge, and it has rings. The main pod is 356 meters, or 1,168 feet above the ground. The tower opened in 1976 with 3 public observation points, and you can see what Toronto's done with it and with technology to really expand the attraction and to make it so much more. And it was already a breathless viewpoint even before all of those amazing additions. They added 2 elevators in 1997, and they added a lot of intelligent systems in 2007. So there's a lot going on here, and you can definitely fill up a memory card or two with lifelong memory foes. Casa Loma. This is one location on the podcast tour where I'm going to get a sound unlike any other, and you'll hear my voice change for just over the next few seconds as I walk from room to room in what is a stretch of an 800-foot underground tunnel. I hope that sounds as cool on the recording as it does to my ears right here at Casa Loma. And I walk into another corner which looks like an echo chamber, and if I speak up a little bit, it's like I'm in a church hall, but I'm actually underground in the 800-foot passageway from the main of the house to the stables and the antique car garage. It's a really fascinating place to be in, and I can say honestly, I don't think I've ever been in a place like it in my life.
The Ripley's Aquarium.
The Ontario Art Gallery, the Royal Ontario Museum, all of which were fabulous. I don't think there's a place we got off and entered that we didn't enjoy. We're masters of the subway, and you can be too. Within a couple minutes of looking at the map, you'll know exactly where you're going, which line connects where, and which transfers are valid where. And we've been taking the bus in every day without problem. Today is Sunday, Father's Day actually, 2015. I sent an email home with a picture of the Pellet family from our visit yesterday at Casa Loma, because I really thought that Mr. Pellet, Major General Pellet, I should say, to be more precise, really looked like my dad. And moving on to today, I thought that would be a funny thing to send home for Father's Day. We're now walking down Queens Quay, and we are on our way to the Toronto Blue Jays game. But before that, we enjoyed a really nice hour-long Toronto Harbor tour from the company, Captain Amanda and First Mate Adolph. They were wonderful tour guides. Gave us a lot of information about the Toronto Islands and about the harbor. Got some really, really great views and pictures from the water perspective, looking downtown at the skyline. Really enjoyed it. What did you think, Jess?
I thought it was very great. I was nervous about it being rough, but it was really smooth.
And I should give myself a boat point for answering a correct question about a cormorant that was sunning itself along the islands.
That was great.
And so we continue down the waterfront way now, and we're headed down to the Toronto Blue Jays game. And while we're walking fast, so I'm a little out of breath, so we can make sure we're in our seats for the national anthems. Today's game, the Baltimore Orioles at your Toronto Blue Jays. We'll talk to you later. I think everything was really nice.
Yeah.
And so definitely tour bus if you're interested in seeing a variety of multiple stops while you're here on your trip to Toronto. And we've kind of given individual glimpses that were live from each place, but do you have an overall memory that kind of sticks out from one of those places throughout?
I really enjoyed seeing the baby ducks in Mississauga. That was just so adorable. Three little babies following their mom. It's just a very nice scene to watch.
That was a very nice time, and that was the suburb day that we had yesterday, where we went just a little bit to our west and south along the coast to Port Credit and had a nice morning breakfast there, and just really enjoyed kind of a quieter day away from some of the noise. But Toronto had so much to offer that we really spent 6 of the 7 days there. Had a great time.
Great time.
I think I'll remember being in the tunnels under Casa Loma. That's one of the things that's going to stand out for me. Walking through the natural art galleries at the Royal Ontario Museum, the birds, the geology exhibits, and I think your favorite was the dinosaurs.
Love dinosaurs. Arr.
Really fun and very thorough and complete, I found, more so than other natural history museums. It was large, and plenty of time can be spent there for those who are interested in the sciences, learning more and expanding their knowledge and repertoire. It's just a reflection back. I mean, it was just a great week. We thank all our friends at seetorontonow.com in the tourism department, as well as all of our partnering organizations that made it possible for us to see such wonderful events while we've been here. And is there anything else that you think that you want to express to people about coming?
Just thank you very much to come to Toronto.
And if you have any questions, I'm glad to offer you any personalized recommendations about things that we did, things that we recommend. Our hotel was Canada's Best Value Inn. That was located in Toronto on 650 Evans Avenue, just near Etobicoke, and that was really a great trip. The hotel provided everything we needed. Had a big TV, refrigerator, microwave, and all the accommodations that we could have asked for. Very friendly, helpful staff as well. And you can email any questions you have to Danny Hauger at gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter at Danny Hauger or at DHX Music. And if you have anything else to say, I would be glad to answer those questions. But for now, had a wonderful week in Canadian land, as we've been calling it. Great week in Toronto from Danny.
And Jess.
We'll talk to you next time. I think the main thing I decided going into this is to get the message across in all of our travels that there are many friends you haven't met in many places you've never traveled to. Thanks for listening to Danny Hauger Podcast, and enjoy all of life's trips and adventures.